Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Ruach Kodash. In this lesson, I'm going to go into those who leave Yahweh will be destroyed. This is for any brothers who came into this truth, and then you ended up rejecting them, like rejecting this message, rejecting this word, coming against this truth, falling back into the world. First, I'm going to start off at Jeremiah 6:27. I have set thee for a tower and a fortress among my people, that thou mayest know and try their way. And they are all grievous revolters, walking with slanders. They are brass and iron, they are all corrupters. The bellows are burned, the lead is consumed away, the lead is consumed of the fire. The founder melteth in vain, for the wicked are not plucked away. Reprobate silver shall men call them, because Yahweh has rejected them. I'm also going to read an NLT. Jeremiah, I have made you a tester of metals, that you may determine the quality of my people. They are the worst kind of rebel, full of slander. They are as hard as bronze and iron, and they lead others into corruption. See, that's what Jake does. They bring others down with them. The bellows fiercely fan the flames to burn out the corruption, but it does not purify them, for the wickedness remaineth. I will label them rejected silver, for I Yahweh am discarding them. So you don't want to fall away from this truth, man. Otherwise, because this word, this is a gift from the Most High. The Spirit, to be, for this word to be dealing with you. Because this path is the only way for deliverance. Only way to salvation. And if you get kicked away, that's it for you. The Most High has rejected you. But next I'm going to start off at Luke 5:37. And no man putteth new wine into old bottles, else the new wine will burst the bottles and be spilled, and the bottles shall perish. See, so you can't fill yourself, like you have to cleanse yourself of your old self before you end up, changing to new. Because a lot of people try to obtain this message, but then they end up falling straight back into the world because they didn't put their old selves away. They didn't, change. They weren't renewed by the Spirit. So you gotta keep on praying, man. Keep that faith. Gotta keep pushing the plow, spreading this truth. And you gotta push away the doubt, man. Push away these demons from tempting you, controlling you. But next, I'm gonna get Deuteronomy 28:64. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy father have known, even wood and stone. So many will still follow after their idols. Instead of trying to really be renewed, you're still clinging on to this world, clinging on to these idols, these worldly desires. Because y'all's family have always been stuck into this instead of really changing, being renewed. You gotta separate yourself from, all these wicked people around you. You gotta watch who you're with, the vibrations that they send. But next I'm gonna get Luke 5:38. But new wine must be put into new bottles, and both are preserved. No man, also having drunk old wine, straightway desireth new, for he saith, the old is better. See, because you can't mix your old stuffs and the new stuff together. It doesn't mix well. So you have to completely put away your old selves and be renewed again. Otherwise, you're gonna pop, and then all that knowledge that you had of this truth is all gone away. Spirit was taken away from you. The knowledge, understanding, the faith, because you're still stuck into the world. On fear of missing out on these these worldly ass events and all these people, these wickedness. You're caring about your time. It's like, no, man, we're gonna get all the time that we need in the kingdom. Now is not the time to be worried about, oh, I want to chill. I want to have some worldly desires, but no, man, time's almost up in this side of the of Esau's kingdom. We can get all the time in the world that we need. Once we're in rulership, you're gonna give it away just for these shitty wins. That's not gonna be remembered at all. But next, I'm gonna get 1 John 2:19. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out, that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. See? And this is talking about those who were with this ministry and then who went away. They were teaching this message, but then after, some time, they left their faith and they fell back into the world, not knowing who they are again. But if any brothers who were in the camps ended up leaving, then they were never really truly a part of this truth. They never truly had the Spirit in them, because they fell right back into the world. They weren't serious about this message. They weren't diligent. Because if they were faithful, they would have continued and endured. They wouldn't have lost faith after just waiting a year of doing this work. You got to be patient, man. You got to keep pushing through. And that goes for me too. So you got to get rid of that doubt demon. You got to keep your faith, man. Keep pushing. Otherwise, you're going to be spat out right into destruction. But next, I'm going to get Matthew 26:41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. See, the flesh is very weak, man. You know, you can't keep the laws 100%, but you got to keep it to the best of your ability, man. And so you gotta constantly examine yourself and pray, so that the Most High, keeps you in the spirit, keeps you enduring, and to boost your faith. Because this flesh, it's super weak. It wants to go follow the ways of the world, all the time. Do wickedness. But yeah, you gotta withstand, man. You gotta constantly endure. If not, you're gonna be, cut off. You're gonna be destroyed with the rest of the heathen and 2/3. But next, I'm gonna get Hebrews 6, 4-6. For it is impossible for those who were once enlightened and have tasted of the heavenly gift and were made partakers of the Holy Ghost and have tasted the good word of the Most High and the powers of the world to come. If they shall fall away, to renew them again unto repentance, seeing they crucify to themselves the Son of Man afresh, to put him to an open shame. So you can't come back to this to this ministry after you're already showing your true colors against. If you're already showing your true colors against this truth. Because the Most High knows your intent, knows how you truly are, knows your meaning, knows your motives. So you can't be part of this ministry and then go away and then come back. That's not how it works. But next I'm going to get 2 Peter 2 and 9. Yahweh knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment, to be punished. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness, and despise government. Presumptuous are they, self-willed they are, not afraid to speak of dignities. See? So, Yahweh knows how much, temptations and troubles that the elect can withstand. But the Most High is going to keep him safe, for deliverance. But the wicked, they'll be reserved for the day of judgment instead. Because, they push this message away. They deny the Lord. Our Father. You don't think nothing should come upon them? Of course they do. They didn't listen to their Father. Did the Most High have to punish them? They followed after their own lust. They love to do wicked, but then they despise the righteous laws, the government, the order, the structure that the Most High demands. But next I'm going to get Luke 9:60. Yahushua said unto him, let the dead bury their dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of the Most High. So you shouldn't worry about, if anyone you care about, ends up passing away, because, they're with the Most High again. They're at rest. And then, we should be preaching the kingdom of the Most High, because that's when we'll come back. We'll truly be in order and righteousness, we'll be prospering. We'll be back with the Spirit 100%. We won't be covered in sin. We're going to be cleansed. And also, Luke 9:61. And another also said, Lord, I will follow thee, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house. And Yahushua said unto him, no man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. See? So any of y'all who look back at this world and missing it, ultimately, you're going to be kicked out. You're going to be rejected. The Most High is going to kick you out of this ministry. You're going to fall straight back into the world and be destroyed along with it, since you desired it. Just like how it was in Sodom and Gomorrah, when Lot's wife looked back, because she wanted to, she liked that place. She missed it, but then she looked back. She turned to a pillar of salt. So all y'all who keep looking back at this world, you're gonna be completely, exterminated. There's not coming back for you until the kingdom of Yahushua, gets established. But next one, I'm gonna get Deuteronomy 32:41. If I whet my glittering sword in mine hand, take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies, and will reward them that hate me. See, so all who hated, who rejected, turned away from Yahweh, all those who, came against Yahweh and Yahushua, ultimately they're going to receive destruction. It's not coming back from that, In the kingdom, you're going to be covered with shame, because you denied Yahweh, pushed him aside for your greed, for your selflessness. You only cared about yourself. But anyway, that's pretty much wrap up the lesson. And with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. And until the next time, I'm going to say Shalom.